And I've been searching and searching and searching, like, where are the wholesome mermaids? Where are the wholesome mermaids? This book is about like friendship and discovering who you are and like your ancestry and discovering magic, and then like romance happens to be there. But it's not like scary, you know, I'm a siren and I was trying to eat my love interest and then I realized, oh wait, like maybe I have empathy. Today is going to be day 2 of learning how to watercolor. The tulips from last time, they were definitely a place to start. A place to start for sure. You know, now that it's dried, it doesn't look that bad. The green is very vibrant. Okay, so the next flower in this book is an anemone, which sounds a lot like those sea creatures. Wait, were those intentionally named similar things? Anyway, this is what this is what I'm going to learn to do today. Speaking of the sea, I really, really want to go to the beach. I want to walk in the sand, feel it burn, touch some water. I don't know about you guys, but my algorithm has been recommending me a lot of coastal lifestyle content, and I don't know if it's pushing that just because it's summer or it's because I yearn to be a mermaid and have a mermaid lifestyle, be next to the water always. I've been getting a lot of that type of content and I've been eating it up. I really want to go to the beach. I feel very influenced. But also in general, I really like watching wildlife documentaries, nature documentaries, ocean documentaries. And it's just so fascinating to learn about the underwater world. What's coming to mind right now, especially since I'm sitting down about to start watercoloring, is a book series that I absolutely loved when I was younger, and it was called The Adventures of Emily Winsnap. It's about this girl who like discovers that she's a mermaid, and then you get immersed into this whole world of like the joys of discovering that you're a mermaid. Emily Winsnap lives in the same place in my heart and my brain and my soul as H2O and Mako Mermaids. When I was a kid, I used to love playing in the pool and pretending that me and my siblings were mermaids. And sometimes we would fight over like who got to be who from H2O, like who got to be Cleo, who got to be Ricky, who got to be Emma. Nobody wanted to be Charlotte. I almost always wanted to be Emma or Cleo. Cleo. So I think I'm feeling a lot of nostalgia for mermaids, magical mermaids, watercolor. And I think the Emily Winsnap book covers, when I used to have them as a kid, I think they were watercolor paintings. Anyway, there's just something so magical and ethereal feeling, just the textures and the visuals that watercolor painting creates. I feel that it perfectly embodies that mermaid magic. As an adult reader now, though, the word yearn has been in my vocabulary a lot lately because that is how I've been feeling. But I absolutely yearn for a mermaid book series that feels like it's part of Emily Winsnap's world, except maybe she's older now. And I still enjoy reading like young adult novels and stuff, but sometimes it's nice to read more like mature books, especially because it's something that I feel like I can more closely relate to. And every time I try to look for a mermaid book that's more geared towards adults, it's just like really like gothic pirate oriented sirens, like man-eating dark approaches to mermaids, and that is not at all what I am into. And I have been searching and searching and searching, like, where are the wholesome mermaids? Where are the wholesome mermaids? This book is about like friendship and discovering who you are and like your ancestry and discovering magic, and then like romance happens to be there. But it's not like scary, you know, I'm a siren and I was trying to eat my love interest and then I realized, oh wait, like maybe I have empathy, like and there was this audiobook that I tried the other day. I don't remember the name of it, but I feel like a lot of mermaid adult books are simply just even scarier retellings of Disney's version of The Little Mermaid. And those have been on my do not finish lists. Maybe I just need to become an author and like write my own wholesome adult mermaid fantasy book. There is just like none in the market. And I don't even, you know, I love reading romance, fantasy, magic books a lot, but that market is completely saturated in like fairies and dragons and like witches and wizards and healers, which like, don't get me wrong, I love reading those kinds of books, but there's like nobody's really into mermaids right now, and that makes me really sad because there are no mermaid books out there that feel close to just like the wonder and the magic of Emily Winsnap's series. Maybe I should just reread the entire series. I haven't reread books in a while. I usually rewatch things like TV shows, but rereading books is not something that I've ever really done. So maybe this is my sign to go reread my favorite books. I used to be a writer. Look at me, I'm yapping and I'm not even getting into watercolor yet. I'm like 12 minutes in and I'm still talking about books. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna try and talk and also learn how to draw this anemone flower. So when I was younger, one of the main art forms that I liked to do was creative writing. My mom was really good about encouraging reading and coming up with creative worlds and then writing about them when we were younger. I remember just having some of the best memories were when she would read us books like during bedtime to help us go to sleep. We were young, but she was already reading us books like Jane Austen novels, the Bronte sisters, those types of Regency romances. When we would finish the books, we would then have like a pizza movie night and watch the movie adaptation of those books. I think that's where my thoughts and ideas on what romance should be like were definitely very much formed around Jane Austen romance novels. And I just love that my mom introduced us to those types of books so early on. Like, that was so chic of her. That was so like, my daughters should read and listen to just amazing classic literature. That and Barbie movie musicals, like Barbie Swan Lake, Princess and the Pauper, Island Princess, Rapunzel, I think it was like Fairytopia, Mermaidia. All of those were such sources of inspiration for me as a kid and as a teen, that's what I wanted to write about. And so I would make stories. I would make like fantasy, romance-oriented stories. And creative writing was really my thing. The other day, I was looking through my old like school documents that I had saved from previous like school accounts. And I found a short story that I had written a couple of years ago. And I swear it was the last thing that I have ever like creatively written in terms of fictional stories. The rest of the writing that I have been doing these past couple of years has strictly been like, I'm doing a scientific research paper, or, you know, I'm writing a serious thing on an art history, whatever. And I read it and I was so pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, this honestly reads like a story that I would read in a romantasy book like more recently. And at the time I didn't read any romantasy books. And so to see that I was already thinking and creatively exploring that realm and coming up with stories, that was just really fun to reread my short story. And I'm honestly considering making time to sit down and just like repolish that short story or maybe even expand it. So that's what I've been feeling inspired to do more recently. Yeah, and I don't know, it might be fun to post something on Substack about it because I really did used to be a writer. And one of the biggest reasons I stopped was because I had received some really highly critical, like critical with nothing really constructive about it, feedback on, I think, a creative story that I had written for a creative, like, you know, one of those creative writing classes. And it just absolutely destroyed my love for creative writing and my self-esteem and confidence about my writing capabilities. Just, I felt so discouraged that I have not seriously written. And that's something that I've been learning to heal and grow out of, is how to navigate criticism and feedback when it comes to my personal artwork. I think that this past school year has been the most transformative in terms of learning how to heal that part of myself. It's different when it's just criticism and somebody saying like, I don't like this. I think it's really bad. And they offer no expansive like thoughts or opinions or advice on like why they don't like something. And I think that's when it gets really hurtful, and what I'm still learning how to navigate. When people are able to give criticism and it's actually constructive and they're like, oh, you know, I think that, you know, this is really lovely. I can really tell that you meant this when you were creating that. And, you know, I wonder if you added this, maybe that would help make this more clear in your artwork, or you could consider doing this or that. I think it would help with the blah, blah, blah. Like that is so much easier and like inviting to be on the receiving end of, to make art a collaborative experience. Because I really truly think that some of my best artwork has been created through the process of engaging with others, asking for others' opinions, for their insights, or even just being able to sit down and have conversations with them, with other people, whether they're artists or not, about my ideas. I truly think that conversation is one of the best forms of art practice. And here I am, you know, having a conversation out loud. Maybe it's one way right now. I don't know. You know, maybe this is my Venus and Gemini, who just loves to chat and talk about creativity and art and all of those wonderful things that live in the universe. Anyway, anemone. I'm going to try making an anemone. Okay, we'll see how I do. Okay, so just spent good 2 hours here. I painted the stem first and then realized that I should probably do some flower, like petal painting drills. So I did that. Yeah, I mean these are quite vibrant, and I wanted to make them a little paler. So I kept on doing a bunch of drills, full flowers, half flowers, like sideway view flowers. And this is my finished product. I'm quite pleased with it. I think the flower petals on the larger flower here are quite pretty, and I worked really hard on them. I still had trouble with the center of the flower. The darker spots kind of looks, I don't know, looks a little weird to me, and I feel like I'm still struggling with the stem, so maybe doing some more stem practice. Other than that, compared to my tulips from the other day, I think I can already see the progress that I made. So, that is officially the end of day 2. And thank you so much for joining me here today. And yeah, till next time. Bye.